Hi, and welcome to my channel. So today I thought I'd do something just a little bit different. When I build, there's always some kind of story in my head. I'm very much focused on a lot of that headcanon. I'm usually asking myself, like, who is the space for? What kind of life would they build here? That kind of thing. To me, it's one of the many ways to help a build feel like a home, even if it's virtual. So when Housing was released and we all searched for the perfect plot to call our own, I fell in love with Plot 46, also known as the Four Sisters. Instantly, I knew who that house was going to be for. Um, I have a warlock. Her name is Alyannìa, and she has three sisters, or my three alts. And I knew right away that this house would be for her and for her sisters. So instead of doing a regular house tour, I thought it would be fun to read one of her letters because I do a lot of writing and storytelling for them. That way I can show you the space, but also give you a sense of who lives here. So without further ado, let's get started. My dearest Lex, I'm feeling a bit sentimental today, thinking back to our childhood, before Alycian and Eleanor were born, when it was just me and you against the world. Today, particularly, I'm thinking of our old home. Do you remember the huge central courtyard where we would play? Father would sometimes join us and bring us those enormous bags of sweets, swearing us to secrecy and telling us not to tell Mother, as if we could not see her, smiling down at us from the upstairs window. Our father's study, and we were told never to enter. Remember how I dared you once to go inside, and you puffed up your chest and marched right in? I stood by the doorway thinking Father was going to scold you. But instead, he sat you on his lap and went over the alchemy journals he was reading. That made me a little jealous, if I'm going to be honest. In Mother's garden, where she tended so carefully while she sang to herself, Aunt Valeris and Mother would be in that garden for hours, talking and laughing. The fresh lavender she would cut and then fill the house. To this day, whenever I smell lavender, I think of them both. Or the winter veil when grandfather fell asleep too close to the fire, and then cousin Ralph set his robes on fire, and then uncle tried to put out the fire with a water elemental. The sofa was never the same after that, and I don't think Mother ever forgave any of them. All those little moments are what I remember most. Lex, it has been far too long since we last spoke. And truthfully, far too long since we've had a proper place to call home. I know the sacrifices you made to keep the rest of us together were not small. And I do not think I ever properly thanked you for that. So, thank you for being there for us when our world was in chaos and all the moments after. I know I'm getting off track. You always tell me I talk too much. But what I'm ready to tell you is that I purchased some land. It's on this little island called Embercoast Reach, just off the coast of Kalendor. A small parcel overlooking a cluster of waterfalls. The locals call it the Four Sisters. The moment I heard the name, I thought of the four of us. And in that instant, I knew that this was going to be home. So consider this letter an open invitation. Whenever you need to rest or a place to crash, just come home. It may not be the house we were raised in, but it can still be ours. I miss you, sister. Love, Allie. So that's a little letter that Allie wrote to her sister Lex. I do a lot of this like in character writing, but what are some of the things that you do when you are trying to build your home? Do you have a story for your house? Or do you just see some inspiration and decide to build? Why don't you leave me a comment down below and tell me what you thought? And until next time, take care and have a great day. Bye.